What happens when an empire built on lies, manipulation, and fear begins to crack? What happens when the illusion, carefully crafted for decades, starts to unravel? In our last video, we pulled back the curtain on Diddy's empire, but that was just the beginning. If you haven't checked it out yet, go watch it now, because in this video, we're going even deeper. The truth is out, the victims are speaking, and Diddy's fall, it's just begun. After Biggie, after Craig Mack, Mase, the new golden boy of Bad Boy, the one who stepped in when Biggie was gone. But like the others, he'd learned what happens when you wear a crown ordained by Diddy. Mase wrote some of Diddy's biggest hits, made him millions, yet despite the success, despite being Bad Boy's #1 artist, Mase was broke. Another victim of the Diddy contract. Years later, Mase tried to buy back his publishing, his own music. Diddy's response? Made owed him $3 million. Let that sink in. The man who made Diddy millions somehow still owed him. And now, Mase is done playing games. He's speaking out, calling Diddy out, saying things like, knowingly starving your artist. Because for Diddy, the game was never about music. It was about money, power, and control. And Mase, to the world, he may have looked like a king, but in Diddy's empire, he was just another pawn. Next up, Black Rob. His song Like Whoa was massive. It made him a star, another crown for Bad Boy. But like the others, Diddy owned his royalties. And when the money dried up, Diddy disappeared. Broke, desperate, no way out. Black Rob turned to crime, landed behind bars. When he got out, he took responsibility, but he also spoke out. He thought they were family, but family takes care of their own. Diddy did nothing. Black Rob never returned to Bad Boy, struggling, sick, forgotten. And Diddy, silent. Until Black Rob's death, when he sent out thoughts and prayers, but no help, no support. Because by then, Diddy had already taken everything he needed. His voice, his royalties, his legacy, his crown. But Diddy didn't just take from kings, because Diddy's power extended far beyond the artist he signed. This was just the beginning of the darkness. Let's take a closer look at how Diddy handled some of the younger stars that came to him. At 13 years old, Usher became his protege, Diddy just 25. He had looked for up-and-coming artists and turned them into megastars. But was it just mentorship? Years later, Usher described the experience as wild. Said he saw things he didn't fully understand at the time. What did he mean? What did he see? To this day, Usher stays silent. But Usher wasn't the only young star Diddy took under his wing. Years later, Usher brought his own protege, Justin Bieber. At 16, Bieber was partying with adults. Diddy gave him the same mentorship, the same lifestyle. And now, Bieber won't talk about it. And Usher, the man who once called Diddy a mentor, now says he won't let his own children near him. If that's the case, why did he let Bieber go? What really happened? And why won't anyone speak on it? The silence, deafening. Diddy called himself Brother Love, but how did he treat the woman he claimed to love? One of his first great loves, Kim Porter? They met at Uptown Records, built a family, built a life. Their love? Turbulent, passionate, toxic. Allegations of abuse, breakups, makeups. Yet after they broke up for good, he wouldn't leave her alone. Then, 2018, Kim Porter dies suddenly. The cause? Pneumonia. But almost immediately, rumors swirled. Before her death, Porter told close friends she was writing a tell-all book. Days before she passed, she warned them, "Watch over my children." Coincidence? Or something far more sinister? And Kim Porter wasn't the only time Diddy would exercise his control over the woman in his life. Many years later, there would be Cassie. Diddy discovered her at 19. At first, luxury, fame, devotion. But behind closed doors, control, abuse, drugs, manipulation. When she finally tried to move on, Diddy allegedly threatened to blow up her new boyfriend's car. Then one day, the car exploded. Coincidence or another warning? But this wasn't even the craziest part, because even after all of this, she went back to him. She stayed with him for years, until finally leaving him for good. But she wasn't done. She took him to court. He paid to make it go away, fast. The world still didn't know the truth, but then a horrific video surfaced, finally revealing to the world what he really was. There it was in full display, Diddy's rage, A snippet of the years of Casey's traumas, the video that opened the floodgates, the video that successfully pulled back the curtains, the spark to all these investigations, and the beginning of the end of the illusion. In Diddy's life, only one woman never abandoned him. Through the rise, through the scandals, through it all, his mother, Janice Combs. She always stood by his side. But how deep did her influence go? When Kirk Burroughs' share of Bad Boy was taken, who ended up with them? His mother. Coincidence? Or something calculated? Diddy's relationship with his mother has long been a mystery. Some whisper about verbal and physical abuse behind closed doors. Remember, he allegedly slapped her after the City College stampede. Others claim that there was something even darker at play. No matter what you believe, one thing is undeniable. She always had his back. But was this just a loving mother? Or did she enable him by feeding his darkness? Diddy was a master of the spotlight. But behind the scenes, he hosted another kind of party. Secret parties, so exclusive, so elite, only a select few were invited, and those who attended stayed silent. What happened behind those doors, no one dared to say. But now, the truth is unraveling, because these weren't just lavish gatherings. These weren't just celebrity-filled nights of excess. These parties, they were something much darker. And now, Diddy isn't just making music headlines, he's making criminal ones. He's been indicted for what happened in those rooms, for what people saw but never spoke about. Will justice finally be served, or will he slip through the cracks one last time? In our next video, we'll delve into the events leading up to the upcoming trials. While we've begun to reveal Diddy and expose the illusions, there's still so much more to uncover. But if that's not enough for now, please share your thoughts in the comments below.